our cultural differences, as well as embracing our unique identities that we all possess in our own special way. I believe that is very important to especially encourage our younger population, our youth. They are the generation for tomorrow, and it's very important to instill in them different skills and confidence so that they look up to us and foster that connection. As I have to say that as a very proud woman myself, wearing multiple hats. I'm not only a single mother, but I'm also a woman of color, and I wear different hats that shape me and signify me. So I'm very proud that I've been a single mother now for 16 years, and in that journey, I have shaped my children in such a way that they are able to develop their own identity and walk their own path. They are two separate youth and very inspiring, and I'm very proud to say that I was able to pave that path for them and shape that journey. And they're able to develop, and so they have their own identities, so I'm very blessed with that. So it's very important to encourage the youth of today to aspire, keep on persevering and succeeding in multiple ways. Let's embrace our differences, our cultural differences, and also embrace our multiple ways of thinking. Try to be open-minded, and let's try to understand each other with compassion and empathy. Therefore, my community, like-minded, positive connections. I'm so happy that I have reached now the 100K mark in my followers, and it's important that we embrace each other with open arms and try to understand one another while connecting together. Thank you so much.
That's amazing. So Ronke, whenever I see you, what word comes to mind? Confidence. So Ronke ran in the last elections campaign just maybe a month. And she was able to do over 10,000 votes after the election. So she finished second at the polls. That's amazing. So what inspired you to run?
So what inspired me to run? So Monday to Friday, I work in healthcare field. I'm a director of a nursing home. When I got into that, I was basketball. I played NCAA basketball many years ago. I was fortunate to be one of those that was on full scholarship in the U.S. And when I came back to Canada, I decided to work with the youth, specifically with high school boys, because I realized that they needed more guidance than the girls did. I had some parents come to me, typically mothers, and say, "Coach, I need to talk to my son. Either, not in class, not doing their assignments, or getting suspended for whatever reason. They weren't doing well, and they, of course, kids don't listen to parents." So I spoke to a lot of these students, and by the grace of God, all of them graduated, somewhat on to get scholarships. But I had parents come to me and say, "Adam, you should really run in politics." And I said, "It's really not for me. Let me just get to the healthcare. It's always my thing. That's what I prefer to do." I had another parent come to me and say, "You should really run in politics." And I said, "It's not really for me." But then I had a politician come to me and say, "Adam, you need to run in politics." And I said, "Okay, tell me a little bit more." They said, "You'll be able to help more people in politics." And I said, "Okay, so what's the process?" So that's what inspired what I learned just it was less than a month with the campaign. The amount of people that I was able to connect with, I never would have had access to if I wasn't a candidate. And let me tell you, I ran in Scarborough Southwest. I live in Vaughan. I ran in Scarborough Southwest because that's where I work. But the majority of volunteers and students that I saw were not visible minorities. They were not. So that means at a very young age, these students and these volunteers were making connections with very important, powerful, important people at a very young age, which means they're already put in a position for success. Whereas I didn't see a lot of visible minorities, people that look like you or I didn't see a lot of them as volunteers, which means they didn't have the same access. So oftentimes we talk about opportunities. I'm a first-generation Nigerian. My parents came here in the 70s, where there were not a lot of visible minorities here. So if they were here, they would tell you a lot of stories of what they encountered here. But the thing is now a lot has changed, and there are a lot of opportunities. However, you have to put yourself, and I tell my young people, you have to put yourself in a position of success. So as you might say, Neil, coach, you're so old. I'm not old. I'm not old. I'm old, look, but I'm not old. So I tell them, listen, like, you know, they all say, I want to make money, I want to do this. Great, we all want to make money. We want to be able to buy the things we want to buy. However, the decisions you make today are going to affect if you make money later. And that's what I talk to these young people about. So I know we're kind of digress, because I love talking about the youth, but they're really the reason why I decided to enter into politics.
Thank you so much. Because a lot of people, in fact, your question was speech so many times. I was getting your question. We need to let her talk about how she got into politics. Who wanted to know what was the inspiration behind it? Because you came into the race like it was a positive nature. And we're so glad we're able to witness this. And I know to share story to all of you. We have so many people talking up and inspired by your story to go into leadership. So we're rounding up this panel discussion with, I'm just going to go around quickly. This year's theme for International Women's is Accelerate Action. So Amy, in one word, what should women do to accelerate action? Community.
Yeah, that's a lot of words, but I'll just take action. Take action.
So, what is take action? Okay, for another word. Be intentional. Do something.
A word that comes to mind is uplift and be authentic.
Say, be resilient.
Thank you so much. We had such an amazing time. And I know, did anyone have an amazing time listening to them? Thank you. So we're just going to get up now and have a good picture. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all our wonderful panelists. Thank you, and next, thank you, everyone. And with us, we have a very special guest. The owner, say the owner of the house. You know, they say the owner of the house. It means the person that owns the house that you're parking right now. He's with us today. And can we join you together as we welcome the mayor of Brampton, Mayor Patrick Brown. Can you join us?
Thank you so much for the honor to join me. Welcome to Brampton City welcome to our Asian. I just want to thank local empowerment and Canada vendors for hosting this International Women's Day celebration. We've had a number of celebrations throughout the month, and we want to be a community and a city and a country that really celebrates role models. You know, I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I want her to grow up in a city and a country where anything is possible, and there are not barriers. We do have true equity in our society, and there's still work to do. You know, at the city's International Women's Day event, I spoke about the fact that sadly, intimate partner violence continues to rise in our country and our region, and we have to combat that. If we truly live in a country we can be proud of, we need to combat that scourge. And I think events like this are important to celebrate those who are doing great, to look up to celebrate. And since you're having this event in City Hall, I just brought some recognitions at the advice to organizations that we wanted to celebrate their work and their contributions. So, Mary, if you can help me. By the way, this is a wizard right here, okay? She keeps on putting us in the right direction of Brandon. So, Mary, thank you for everything you do. The first recognition is to Sukhbir Singh, Director of Like-Minded Positive Connections. You can come here and we'll present this to you. And Sukhbir puts on a number of her own great events each year, usually 2 or 3 big events. Come in the middle. Our next event, this is a surprise. Adeola Deni.
Cultural celebration by Adiola.
Zed Yusuf, founder of
CC Visuals.
Normally the person taking the video and photos. Now, and I was going to say there was another scroll we had taken up. Morris made up a scroll for himself. I said it's International Women's Day, Morris. You can't give him a scroll. But we all love Morris too, okay? And Morris is now likely to live in the type of city that has as many allies as possible to celebrate our tremendous women leaders. Joined here by Councillor Power. Can you come up here? Rod Power. And Rod said he wanted to be here today. These 2 incredible organizations, Global Empowerment, Canada Vendors, doing so much great work in our community. Council Power, we were together earlier today. We just wanted, I know we wanted to be here to say how grateful we are to have powerful organizations like this making a difference in our community. Over to Council Power.
Well, thank you for putting me on the spot. I wasn't sure. I still have certificates, but I have to have to be apparently for more. Well, they call it. These 2 organizations are powerful.